Hey everyone, this is Heather. Today it's about you can't serve two different people. Think about how you only have one husband. And if you had two husbands, you would have two people to take care of, two hearts. And you would just be all over the place because one person would be jealous that you're spending time with the other person, right? So, in the same way, when there's different things that you're worshiping, like in my family, they have ancestral family worship, they have Buddhism, and they also added in Jesus. But don't you think that the one that actually has feelings is the one that gets jealous? That's the one that's Jesus. The ancestral spirits, they're just fake spirits. They're not even your ancestors, because your ancestors are either in heaven or they're in hell. They're not going to be wandering around, So those are actually evil spirits that live in the spiritual realm but have access on earth because Adam and Eve allowed access to those things. They allowed evil in, and now you can let them into your mind because of Adam and Eve letting in the fruit. So this week I met a man who said that his culture, Japanese culture, is like no religion because they start with Shinto for the baby's birth, and then for the wedding they have a westernized wedding, and then for the death or the funeral they go to the Buddhist temple. So it's like, does any of this even make any sense? Like, there is just no order to anything. And the world was created in order, and there is only one master that you can serve. It's either God or evil. And evil is pretty much deciding your own way, because anything that is not of God, your own choice, is evil. You can have a really good character, but you could still be evil because you always keep sinning, and the only person that has the power to forgive is God, So I think that's why I encourage you to really check who you're serving, because at the end of the day, only the creator of the universe has the final say. Even if you can't see him, it's kind of not common sense, I would say, but if you reason it out with your mind, you can figure out that there is justice and injustice. There's good and there's evil. There's always like two different sides. And when you're feeding money to things that are dead, then you're going to be dead because you're relying on something that's dead. But if you are feeding something that's alive, you're going to be living. And if you see Christian people, that's why they're so alive, is because they keep getting persecuted, but they can never die, There's lukewarm Christians too, but they're not on fire for God because they're not really chasing after God. They're not chasing after God's heart. And sometimes people who are passionate Christians can become lukewarm if they don't keep up their faith. So this is why it's important to just serve God with all your heart. And that's a challenging thing because you got to spend time with Him every day to continuously be married to them, just like your husband. When you spend time with your husband, you're making sure that all the things that you're doing for your husband is secure. So it's the same way with Jesus. He's in the Bible, he's your husband. And I think he actually used that concept here on earth because he knew that you would need a husband on earth in order to understand him. He uses everything on earth to help you understand who he is. So I just urge you to spend time even with God, just praying, even if you're not Christian, and to renounce all those idols that they're not really doing anything for you. You're just giving them money, but they're not really feeding you, or you're just asking them for a blessing, but they're not really giving you the blessing. It's actually Jesus who gives you the blessing. Yeah, well, you have a wonderful day.